And here we are for your formation lap, people. It's today that we will see whether the championship battle comes in any closer or whether George can run away with it even more. Of course, all 10 drivers will score points today, either between 25, obviously, and the 1 point.
Yes.
No one
That's
wants to
DNF.
Oh.
That's a DNF, that is.
Of course, but we don't talk about that. We don't want that to happen, do we, Preston? You know, we don't bring up those negative vibes here. We're positive vibes only, man. Come on. Oh, and he's gone. Oh, is he back?
Yeah, man.
Good, nice one. But, people, it's your Alpine on your front row here today. You have got newcomer in Ben in P5 and newcomer Tyrone in P10. You've got the two McLarens who managed to get the first 1-2 of the season in P8 and P9. Quite a difference here today, I would say.
See the separation between Harry. Taking full advantage of this.
Getting a Red Bull sandwich going on. But, are you ready for today's race? What are you expecting from today?
I said chaos last time. I'm going to say strategy this time.
Fair enough. I mean, with no AI, hopefully it'll be less chaos and more strategy, as you say.
Yeah, I think it is going to be down to when you pit and what you pit onto, to be honest.
Very true. But, people, the drivers are lining back up, and you have me for lights out today, you know. I know you want Preston, but you've got me, alright? You got Preston for the finish. Calm down now. But the drivers are lining back up one at a time, and unlike normally when we have to wait for 20 drivers, we only have to wait for 10. It's 3, 4, 5 red lights, and it is lights out. And away we go for the Austrian Grand Prix. What a start by Charlie to get up to that P2 position now. I believe it's Ben going for a move on Bradley, but he can't pull it off. Callum up to P6 now. What a start.
Yeah, it's excellent start from the McLarens. I think they both made up a position each. Now fighting each other. James just held off Carl just shortly before that, and now I think they should have just got away here with Harry now on the back of Carl.
What is going to happen here? It's going to be a fall! Oh! Bradley's already been taken out. We know now, because there's no AI, that will be either a driver fault or a potential penalty worth incident. Who knows? We'll have to have a look and see what Bradley says after that. But, people, the race goes on.
Oh, the Alpine's gone wide.
Oh, P has gone down.
He went flying off track.
A very unlucky time for Peter here as well. He goes down to P10 here, which means Charlie has taken the race lead. George down to P2, but McLaren's up to P3 and P4, but under pressure by Carl and Harry. Of course, Ben and Tyrone pressuring each other, with Bradley just behind Tyrone and Peter having to sadly pit already.
Yeah, I think he must have hit the wall. Yeah, he's getting a change of wing. Changing the tyres as well, staying on the mediums, and yeah, I think I must have had a bit of oversteer maybe, or understeer, just gone onto the gravel and possibly hit the wall there.
Oh, utter chaos! Callum spun! No, oh my god! Tyrone's gone straight into Callum. Harry's hit Callum! A 5-second penalty to Callum for a severe collision with Tyrone, even though Tyrone went into Callum. So how does that make sense? We don't know.
Yeah, that's going to have to be reviewed, maybe possibly reverted.
Definitely, I'll have to have a look into that later on and see what can happen here. But Charlie now setting the fastest lap of the race with a 108.668, showing that he still has the quickness he had in Season 3. Now Ben potentially going to be applying pressure to Carl, but he goes slightly wide there, but Ben is still on him now. Can he get past? But Callum now approaching Harry. Harry's gone a bit wide there. Can Callum take full advantage here with the DRS now? He's going on the inside, looking for the overtake, potentially switching to the outside. And can't stretch it. Will contact between them both from here.
Yeah, that Ferrari's just gone wide as well. It's invited him back into the fight now.
This is a huge battle already. We thought it. Oh, what is Tyrone doing? What on earth?
I see that. I just skipped up to the top of the grid, but what happened?
He just kind of went off track and slammed into the DRS signs, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. I don't know what was going on there. But George now trying to catch up. Jamie with Voslak with 108.496. Wow.
That's a car now.
Is it? Oh,
Jamie took a car, took it just shortly afterwards.
This is why you're here, because you're smart and you notice stuff. But
it's been an eventful race. We thought McLaren's maybe have been blessed with their start and managed to get up to P3 and 4, but an unfortunate spin for Callum's dropped him down, and an incident between him and Tyrone has caused him to have a 5-second penalty, and I'm not too sure if this... And the Tyrone's gone wide again.
Definitely not a good
really
time.
Seems to be struggling with that corner.
Definitely not a good time for Tyrone at all. Potentially, needs to take it a bit more careful throughout those corners, not go into it too fast, brake a bit sooner, potentially. Who knows how he can fix it, to be honest. But I do see Ben pressuring Carl now with that DRS as well he's about to get.
Yeah, as you can see, Carl's back rear light is blinking, so he's recharging that battery. And it's looking like he's not quite got the pace that Ben might actually have to take him here, which is looking likely. Around the outside. Can he get it? And he does get the move done. He's enough ahead in the corner so he can make them turn without crashing into Carl.
A brilliant move by Ben for sure to take him up to P4. One of the newcomers here within the league, showing that he is here to challenge for race wins potentially. Who knows whether he can catch up or not, but George does seem to be catching up to Charlie here.
Yeah, he's stayed within DRS mainly. Let's just see if we can get him on the main straight. Oh, hello.
Oh.
And that's a Ferrari. Ben has just spun.
An unlucky time for Ben. He was doing so good, but wasn't able to keep it, and has spun here. Definitely a very unlucky time, that's for sure.
Bradley spun.
Oh. Why is everyone spinning on this game?
The corners are very deadly on this track. Any slight acceleration on the corners and you just spin round.
Oh.
It's very spin likely, and Callum's making a move down the inside.
And he
gets the move done.
Up to P7 now. Brilliant overtake on the inside of Bradley. Nice one to go up to P7 for Callum there. That is for sure. Are you sort of missing the AIs right now, or are you glad they're gone?
So far the action is all over the place. With spins and crashes. I'm not really missing the AIs.
Fair enough, fair enough. The drivers are doing the AI's work for them, basically, you could say.
In a way, yeah.
Yeah. But now George trying again to catch up to Charlie. Gonna be on this straight, getting that DRS again. Charlie goes a bit wide there. Now George losing time again on that corner. He's always losing time on that corner.
Yeah, I think a lot of drivers are a bit fearful not to spin.
Oh! George's gone! George has spun round. He's damaged his wing.
Yep, that's a damaged wing. That's going to cost him around these corners.
Both the Alpines now needing to go into the pits early to get a new wing repaired. Not a good day for the Alpines, that is for sure so far. But Carl now piling the pressure onto Jamie. Can he get the overtake done here? He's definitely getting closer, that's for sure, with him. 0.4 second gap now, trying to close it up, but he's going to the absolute bare bones of his ERS now, with that red flickering light on the back.
Yeah, both of them have used their battery up, just throwing everything they can just to get away from each other out of DRS. Unfortunately, Jamie just quite can't get him out. And Carl is using this DRS just to pull him along and get closer and closer.
But Jamie seems to have kept hold of that P2, at least for now. However long that will last, we don't know, as Carl has got the DRS now charting down Jamie. Will he be able to catch up on this straight? Potentially looking on the outside.
The outside gonna maybe get switched back.
Oh,
that was a beautiful move. That was amazing.
If only I caught it in first person, that would have been great. But a brilliant move by Carl up to P2, showing that he was a World Drivers' Champion once, and he's here to battle for race wins again.
Jamie's not out yet of this yet. He is still stuck behind Carl. If he can get a decent run in the final corner, he has DRS and he's spun.
Oh!
He's touched the curb and he's now spun, and that is an unfortunate day for Jamie. He can't get the car turned around either. Oh, he's losing time.
He's now gone down to P6, P7. Callum narrowly avoiding Jamie, and his teammate now overtaking him and getting up to P6. But that does mean Bradley up to P5, Harry in P4, and Ben in P3 now.
Yeah, well, we can sort of see the winners and losers so far of this restart, and I think we can happily say that Charlie and Carl are the winners of this. I don't think those are the two drivers yet to make an incident or spin. Am I correct in saying?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. Harry has sent me a message asking if I changed the settings. I didn't. I just selected the same ones I normally do. So I don't know why it would have changed, but we'll have to have a look at that after the race potentially. But Charlie now running away with it. Yeah,
his main competitor in this race was George, who unfortunately had that spin on the first corner. Has cost him, but it could be one to keep an eye out for later on in the race. George is now on mediums. So is Charlie, but obviously George is going to be fresher, and there's a Sector 2 yellow flag. Is that the Ferrari?
Yes. You think
Ferrari
so, yeah?
Was going slightly slow then. Pete has just made a move past him.
But I think it's all good for now. Sorry, I'm just reading the chat to see whether the guys are saying that it has changed it, but I don't think it has.
No. I haven't noticed anything, and if more drivers kick off about it, maybe we can look at it, but I think, yeah, mainly it's just the track, if I'm being honest. The track is very spinnable on it. Regardless of what send you have, you can still spin on this track.
Very true, very true. But shall we talk about the Alpines right now? We're on the front row. P1 and P2 were looking great, and now they're P7 and P8.
Yeah, it's not good, obviously. I think the drivers in front of them still have to box, so we still possibly have to take that into account. But even so, taking that into account, I think Charlie's still going to be ahead of them if he boxes. So
very true, and you've got to think
Charlie's hands.
You've got to think Charlie is on the mediums like them, but Carl and Ben are on the mediums. Harry's on the hards, and Bradley's on mediums. Callum's on the hards, and I see Jamie's on the hards as well. So a few people going for longevity here.
Yeah, I mean George and Peter both went from hards to mediums. Jamie went from mediums to hards, so neither of them have to box. again.
Sorry to interrupt, but speaking of Jamie, Jamie's now looking for the overtake on Tyrone, going on the inside potentially with that DRS. Can he make this move stick into the corner? It's looking like if Tyrone can get the switchback, he's not close enough, and Jamie makes it stick.
Yeah, I'm just kind of look. I don't think he's close enough. Yeah, I think James got that stuck now. Yeah, as I was saying though, I was just saying that the people that have boxed don't need to box again for another type of tyre. Although I think those medium runners will probably box again.
Fair enough. 3 second time penalty for Brad here.
Yeah, he's just run wide there, and I think he's probably run wide a couple of times, so he's just picked up a couple of warnings and eventually got the penalty.
An unlucky time for Bradley for sure, but now piling the pressure on Harry here. Can he get the overtake with the DRS? He's hunting him down, looking, wanting. Can he make it past the Red Bull of Harry here? It's all or nothing. Can he push enough?
He seems to be really close to that rear of that Red Bull. He's showing he has the pace.
But is he quick enough potentially get the overtake on this coming straight? That's the question.
Oh, bit of a wobble there, but he should be fine to get DRS, and if not, he'll have DRS down the next straight, which is a very long straight for DRS, and should be more than enough to get the move done.
Fair enough, fair enough. I do see that he is right on close now, looking on the outside.
Right, and again. Is that Tyrone? Tyrone's took his wing off. Is that a safety car? It's a safety car.
That's a safety car, so Brad can't overtake.
Brad can't overtake. Tyrone is really struggling to get his car around here. It keeps spinning around. That does invite those that are on the mediums to possibly box. If they haven't already, that is.
Perfect chance for Charlie, I would say, to keep the lead.
Yeah, Charlie should have a decent gap. He probably might lose out to Carl, but as we saw, he has the pace on Carl, so if you did decide to box, which he has boxed.
But so has Carl, I think. Carl was boxing as well, so he won't lose any positions.
Yeah, that's good strategy. Oh, and there's 5 seconds for Tyrone for speeding. Yeah, I think that's played into Charlie's hands a lot there, because he's got that. He's managed to box before George and Peter really gained any reasonable time on him.
Very true, and now he can actually pull in front and make sure all he needs now is a good getaway from the safety car. If he gets that, he's golden. But whether he can get that is of course a question.
It's seen Callum, he's switching to the mediums. He had his 5 second penalty, and now he's changing his wing as well. That's just a bit unfortunate for Callum there.
I see George has gone on to the hards. Jamie is still on the hards. Peter's gone on to the hards as well.
That's probably a strategy to long out those that may have gone to the mediums, because the mediums, I just don't see them lasting until the end.
Potentially go on to the softs at the end of it.
Possibly. I just struggle to see how those mediums will last unless they go to another set of mediums. What's that? 22 laps. Yeah, I struggle to see them last in 22 laps.
Well, who knows whether they can hold the time management together, or whether they will potentially suffer. But I think it's only actually Harry on the mediums, actually. Yeah, it's Harry and Callum on the mediums, that's it.
Yeah, I think both of them are very well at tyre management. So if anyone could do it, they could, both Harry and Callum. So interesting one to keep an eye on there.
Very, very true. But it's lap 14 now, lap 15 out of 36. A safety car here. how is this going to change things up? I mean, you currently have sat in P3 Harry. We haven't seen that for a while. Harry up there.
Yeah, this unfortunately hasn't actually really been able to piece together a couple of races of decent points this season. But he'll be looking to do that starting today. And with him on the meet, oh hello, there's a glitch there, and Ben's just got in front of him.
Well, that was weird. Harry being sent down to P4 now. And Ben's left the session. Safety car in the slap. 5-second penalty to Ben for ignoring the yellow flag.
Very confusing.
Very confusing indeed. But who knows? Now the safety car is going in. We're about to get back to racing conditions. I hope you are all ready, because it's about to get wild, people. That is for sure. The driver's now heading round the final few corners. And will Charlie get a brilliant getaway here? It's looking like it. Cole is out of the DRS zone. There is no advantage for Cole going into this corner. Charlie has to hold on to it now. A yellow sector 3.
It looks like he spun. He dropped all those places.
Not a good time for Bradley this race, that is for sure. But it goes to show, as you said, the curves are very dangerous and you just have to be so careful with it. But who knows? But now Charlie's had a brilliant getaway.
Yeah, he managed to time it perfectly. I'm not too sure if Carl was trying. He probably was trying. But yeah, he managed to get like a second within like the first corner. And yeah, basically took Carl out of the equation. But I did notice that Callum did get past Jamie as well in that mix. So he's now going to be hunting George.
The McLaren's fighting a lot today after getting me a successful 1-2 for the team. They're battling it out here.
Yes, yeah, the fight is at the. I think it's Tyrone again.
Tyrone's just not having a good race at all, is he?
No, he's been lapped by everybody now, I think, but Bradley.
Yeah.
So, this is not looking good for Tyrone.
A very unlucky time for sure now, but Callum is on the hunt for the Alpine of George. Of course, currently the top 2 championship contenders. Whoever gets higher will obviously have the bigger advantage. So Callum will be looking to overtake him at whatever cost.
Well, bearing in mind, Charlie is 18 points off Callum in this championship. So I'm not too sure where that would put him now. I think that would put him just behind Callum, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, Callum getting 8 points, Charlie getting 25.
Should gain 17 then, which will put him 1 point behind. He's 18 at the moment.
Who's got the fastest lap? That's the question. George has the fastest lap, so that won't come into effect really for Callum or Charlie.
Nice. Charlie, as things stand, is still behind Callum in the championship, but Callum is going to be wanting to get in front of George, gain as much points as he can on George, because obviously he's 16 points off of George, and he's making a move down the inside here.
Oh.
Wheel to wheel, and he just gets the move done.
I just missed it, but a brilliant overtake by Callum nonetheless to get up to P5. If he can hunt down Harry, he'll be pushing for that first place.
Yeah, I mean, I think first place probably is out of the picture, especially in his mind for now. Things would have to go his way if he wants to get first, but a podium's place is on the cards for him today.
But who knows whether that will happen. But currently, Carl running in P2, Ben in P3. I know that Ben's currently not actually in, but, you know, we still count the points towards him, don't we? So, you know, a brilliant start by Ben, I would say, to get to be P3. A brilliant for Carl as well. I think that'll be his first successful points, won't it, really? I mean, he got a 13 in Monza due to a bug, but, yeah.
Yeah, that would be his first. He's had some unfortunate races so far. Couple of spins, and yeah, he'll be looking to get some decent points on the board.
Who knows whether he'll do it, but Harry now has overtaken Ben up to P3, but Ben may be ready to fight back. Can he push for the overtake? Who knows? He's staying close through. He's staying close to Harry, but Harry may be just starting to get away here.
Yeah, I think if that's correct, I think that might be an AI driving for Ben. I'm not sure. I didn't see if he's joined back yet.
I don't think he lost connection. So I think it's still an AI.
Yeah, so unfortunately he's not going to have the pace he was showing when he was driving. And it's just invited Callum into the equation as well, try and gain some spots. Callum has broke the DRS on George, but an interesting point to note is that he is on the quicker tyre.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about endgame here. Who's going to have the better tyres when it comes down to those last couple of laps? And Pete's just got past George.
Oh. Is George potentially letting him past, or is this a team sort of order? Team orders?
I'm not too sure, but George isn't... Oh, there's Ben joining now.
Good.
It wasn't... George isn't really showing the pace he was showing.
Oh!
Peter's gone.
Oh no, what an awful time for Peter to spin once again. But who knows what will happen now. George is all by himself, sandwiched by the two McLarens here. It's down to Jamie now to get past George and send him even further down the points.
Yeah, Callum's now closing on Ben. Obviously Ben's now driving again, but obviously Callum's now in that DRS zone and he's just going to be getting a nice slipstream all the way up into that second corner. I don't think he's quite fast enough just yet.
Well, I think his speed will definitely improve when he gets hold of that DRS. If he can stay within the DRS range, which is looking likely for now, but he just has to hold on to it to get into that straight and get that DRS.
The problem is now, though, is that Ben is now going to the DRS of Harry, so he's just going to be getting a toe all the way through. So any DRS Callum had is now going to be nullified from Ben's DRS.
That's very true, and I can also tell you, I just noticed Ben did set a purple sector 2 here, showing his pace. Showing that he wants that podium position.
Yeah, as you can see, he's broke out the DRS from Callum now. He's really pushing. After losing connection, he really wants to gain back what he's lost. And he's just run wide slightly there, but takes the run off nicely, and he's got DRS on Harry. Leaves Callum a little bit stranded here, with George now pushing.
Oh!
Almost the DRS of Callum.
Ben's getting ever so closer. It may be here right now with the DRS that he makes it past him. Of course, Harry has that DRS as well, but on the inside, Ben goes through the corner and gets past Harry.
Yeah, they went wheel to wheel there. I think Harry sort of just yielded from that. Did cause him to go run a little wide, but I didn't see anything too worrying about that move that Ben did. It was a good move from Ben.
Very true, and now he's within the DRS range of Carl. Imagine if he can get a P2 on his first ever race.
Yeah, that would be a good standout performance on his debut race.
That definitely would, that's for sure. But can Ben push hard enough? It's looking like it. It's looking like he's getting close enough with the DRS. Once again, will he do the exact same thing he just did to Harry on Carl? It's going to be interesting. You better not divert your eyes, because this is where it goes down with the DRS now. Will he go on the inside? Will he go on the outside?
He's about to make a move. It's George on Callum.
Oh!
George got a nice run out of it. Oh, the wheel bouncing here. I think Callum just has to back off a little bit just so he can avoid going into the gravel there, but they're going at it between the two of them. The championship contenders are literally going wheel to wheel with each other.
They know that every point counts for them right now. But who will prevail? Who will come out on top and score the most points here today? That's the question we're all wondering. But as we wonder that, Harry puts pressure on Ben and gets back his P3 position on the inside. But Ben's looking for a beautiful switchback. Oh my god. Pushes Harry off the track.
Yeah, he does push Harry a little wide there. Not too sure he's really giving him the room to race. But Harry will be looking right. Oh, he's touched his rear and Ben caught that nicely, but he's lost 2 positions in that process.
So Ben will now have to push and push to see if we can get past George at the same time as George is pushing and pushing to get past Harry. But Ben is now also under pressure from Callum. This is a 4-way battle for P3 right here.
Yeah, George has made loads of places in that. It's not going to be too good news for Callum. Seeing George just flying at the moment. I don't know if this is down to just mediums maybe dropping off, because Harry's also losing a bit of pace, whereas George is on those hards. But unless George has just found the pace that he's been looking for all race.
Have they potentially made the wrong strategy call here? As George now goes on the outside of Harry, will he get this overtake? It's looking like it. This is a wheel-to-wheel battle. Who's going to prevail? Oh, and it comes Ben.
Ben just popped in to say hello. Stuck his nose in there to see if he can make some nuisance, but unfortunately neither was hesitating to him. And George goes down the inside. Does he have the traction? I think Harry's sticking with him. Down the inside again. They're going wheel to wheel.
This is great battling right here. But who will prevail? It's looking like George.
George, I think, just has a better traction out of that corner, but Harry's going to be looking to maybe go down the inside of this next corner here.
Ooh, what's going to happen here? George, I think, has made it stick. However, Harry now with the DRS.
Harry's now making a move. He should get the move done, but George is now going to have, I would think, DRS down the next straight. If not, he's going to be in trouble, which he does. He's now going to be fighting back at Harry again, but this is bringing all those drivers behind into the equation. Callum now making a move on Ben, possibly. Down the inside.
Oh, wheel to wheel, literally.
Ben just gets away with a bit of better traction. This is some excellent racing from everyone so far.
Definitely, I don't think we're missing the ARs one bit, are we? They're more carnage than they are action.
So far, yeah, it's been really thrilling race. We've seen spins, we've seen collisions, we've seen a safety car, we've almost seen it all.
Just need a red flag and it'll be complete, but I forgot F122 barely does red flags. Imagine if they did, that'd be epic.
Unfortunately, no red flags, but it would be cool, but not so good in the same place. But here comes George now. Good run out the last turn, sorry. Can he make a move? No, he's going to stick behind so he can get DRS, I think, down this next straight. It's nice and long, but Ben's now making a move.
But Ben wasn't able to make it work.
I think Bradley's just spun. Unfortunately, I think, yeah, unless he went wide, but yeah, he pulled up the yellow flags in big. And hello, Ben and George going at it again.
Ben almost made George spin, but George managed to hold on to it and secure his car to make sure he did not lose anything there.
Yeah, and Callum's going to be rubbing his hands watching this because he's up right behind Ben. lost a bit of time in that corner, but he's watching this fight happen and he's gaining every single time.
And if Ben can disrupt George enough, Callum can take advantage, and that's just the championship even more intense made right there.
Yeah, any point he can get down now could prove vital. As we saw last season, we went down same points into Abu Dhabi. So if he can gain points here, you never know what could be the outcome at the end of the season.
Very true, but who will prevail? It's still looking like a four-way battle, I would say, right now, because Harry's still sort of in the equation.
Ben's making a move down the inside.
And here comes Callum! Here comes Callum! Getting past George. Will he make it past Ben? I don't think he will. But now, wheel to wheel with George. Who will make it work? Who will make it stick? It's looking like Callum just will make it work.
Just makes it stick. Wheel to wheel with each other. But bear in mind, you've got to keep into account that both Ben and Callum have 3-second penalties, I believe.
That is very true. So...
no, sorry, Ben has a 5-second. Callum has a 3-second.
So all George has to do is stay within those 3 seconds, and he's got the position basically. Although, would he rather overtake, secure the position, and send Callum even further down?
Yeah, he's going to want to get the position on track. Every driver would rather win this position on track.
Ben's gone.
There goes Ben.
It's total carnage here in Austria. No one will want to drive this after. But now Bradley applying the pressure onto Ben and getting that overtake done.
Yeah, George managed to get the move done on Callum. I think there was a bit of just... I think George had the DRS and I think it was a bit of out of the question for Callum to defend. But he's now going to be stuck right behind George. And hopefully George can pull him along towards Harry, but Harry's now closing the gap on Carl.
What a brilliant battle we are seeing here between our drivers. I'm loving this.
Yeah, personally I haven't seen too many incidents that really question whether deserved of a pen. It's just been clean racing so far, as far as I can remember.
Pretty much, but now Harry applying the pressure to Carl, maybe looking to the inside here, and makes it work. What an easy overtake.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, but Carl broke really early into that corner. Maybe he's thinking about getting DRS in the next straight, but didn't quite get it. Harry's got it. He's now got the move done.
But Carl is still attacking here.
Harry might have lost it a little bit. There goes over the grass and now it's invite Carl back to fight back for the position. Is that Tyrone again, just getting lapped?
A very unlucky race for Tyrone for sure, but Carl now is not giving up. He wants that P2 position back. He's gonna push for it all he can, but will he get it here?
Bear in mind, if these two keep fighting, George and Callum are just down the road from them. They're not going to be far off fighting for this position as well.
That is very true. This could be a huge battle in itself right here. But Carl, right now, will get that DRS. Will he prevail and get on top of Harry here?
Yeah, they all have DRS. Carl, George and Callum all have DRS on each other, except for Harry. Harry's going to be the vulnerable one out of this. But it is looking, as things stand, of Red Bull 1-2.
We saw a McLaren 1-2 last time out, but now will it be a Red Bull 1-2, or will the Mercedes of Carl, the Alpine of George, or the McLaren of Callum, or should I say the Mercedes of Callum, just to put that joke in there, get the overtake and stop that 1-2 from happening?
Yeah, I think 5 laps to go. There's still plenty of time in this race for anything to happen. I'm just slightly losing out on pace here, but this is a battle here. George is now closer to Carl than Carl is to Harry.
But also you've got to take into account, because Callum's losing pace, it's bringing Jamie in as well.
Yeah, Jamie's closing the gap on his teammate. which is, I don't know if that's just because Callum's slowing down or if that's just Jamie upping them to speed, because Pete is now closing the gap on Jamie. He was about 3 seconds before, and now it's down to 2 seconds.
This is definitely... Oh! Carl's got the overtake on Harry, but Harry coming back now. Can he get it back? No, he can't now. George potentially putting on the pressure on Harry. This is currently a three-way battle.
Three-way battle. Who's going to be unlucky enough to miss out on the podium here?
No one wants to. No one wants to be the one who lost out. But someone will. And it may be Harry, as George is looking ever so close. But we know that Harry has brilliant defending skills after showing it last season in Abu Dhabi. Who will prevail here?
I have noticed one thing that might be worth keeping an eye out for. Is that Harry... Oh, hello.
Oh.
George has faked a move and he's gone down the outside. Harry's just going to be late on the brakes here. But George has got a better run out the corner and he's now got the move done.
Oh.
With Harry chasing down Carl.
A very unlucky time for Harry for sure, but he's coming right back.
This... so interesting. I can't even get what I want to say out in time because there's so much action going on. I did just want to say quickly before more action happens is that Harry and George both have some battery left in this fight. Carl has got nothing left. He's running low. He's constantly recharging his battery, which means that Harry and George do pose a slightly better threat than Carl does.
Very true, but do not count out Carl because we do know he is a very dangerous driver when he wants to be.
Yeah, Carl does have the pace. So this could be an interesting one to watch as we try and figure out who's going to be the unlucky one to miss out on the podium.
But we have, I'd say, about 3 laps left to go, including this lap. So it's not over yet by a long shot.
It is not over. And say one of them was to spin. It invites Callum into the equation as well.
That's very true. It's going to be a close one. You won't want to switch off, that's for sure. You'll want to stay tuned for the final few laps here in the Austrian Grand Prix.
George seems to have got a better run out that corner. Can't. He's really up close to the rear of that Red Bull.
Will he look down the inside? Will he look down the downside? Outside. And get the position done and taken. I'm knocking off my... Oh, go on, sorry.
I was going to say, George is looking really quick on this. Even with Harry's DRS, he's literally gaining on him as well.
What will happen here? George and Harry both have DRS, but who will have the better pace going into this corner? It's looking like George maybe is pulling on the inside, but Harry's trying to stay on top, but he can't. George has pulled in front. George going for the overtake on Carl, but he can't stretch for it.
I was just gone on wide days. Harry's tried to make a move, but ran out of track to really make that move done. Had to go wide a little bit. But Carl seems to be getting a decent exit out of all these corners, and it's just proving a difficult task for both George and Harry. But George now gets past Harry.
Will it be Harry to miss out? Oh, sorry.
No, carry on.
Will it be Harry to miss out on the podium, or will he be able to come back in the final lap of the race and take back his podium position?
Yeah, I wouldn't rule any of them out. They are all looking incredibly quick right now.
Carl's looking majorly strong in P2 though, potential title challenger.
It's popping down the grid a little bit because Peter's now making a move on Jamie.
Oh.
Into the first corner. He's squeezed out a little bit, but he should have DRS down this main straight as long as he gets a decent exit, which is they had a decent exit. I'm not too sure it'll be enough to make a move, but maybe in the next DRS straight he might be able to. George is right on the back of Carl as well. There's so much going on.
We can't keep track of all of it. But
Carl is defending amazingly there, around keeping that inside locked off from George.
you could.
62. And
Jamie!
McLaren, Jamie is fighting away with Peter. Neither of them want to give in, but I think it's James going to have to give in there.
Very true.
Quite a bit of a
But
argument.
Charlie's about to cross the line. And he has. He's taking it.
Oh! George has spun on the last corner.
Oh! Oh! That's down to P5. P4 due to a 3-second time penalty for Callum. George has still managed to take P4, but Callum in P5 now. What a way to end this race. Wow.
Wow.
That's all I can say.
We missed Charlie going across the line. That was an amazing drive from Charlie. He's in a league of his own. Yeah, we missed him going across the line because there's so much going on behind the scenes. But yeah, congratulations to Charlie. Well done on a great drive, and yeah, you couldn't have asked more from him today.
Very, very true. But driver of the day goes to Harry. I think I'd give it to George, Harry, and Carl, to be honest. And here we are for your podium as Charlie once again walks out to take the first place trophy home. I'm mucking up my words. You have Carl on his left, Harry on his right. It's a Red Bull 1-3. It's a Red Bull podium, that's for sure. Thank you for joining us here today in Austria. We'll be right back with you in a minute with the leaderboard once the podium's over. But what a brilliant race it was by Charlie today, that is for sure. I hope you all enjoyed, and we'll be right back with you momentarily. And here we are for your leaderboard. Charlie takes that first place. Carl in P2. Harry in P3. George in P4. Callum in P5. Peter in P6. Jamie in P7. Bradley in P8. Ben in P9. And Tyrone in P10. Thank you for joining us here in Austria. And we'll be back with you next Sunday at 1 PM for the Monaco Grand Prix. Do not miss it, people. Do not be late.